This trip we done in June 2011. Me and my Norton Commando, Fiona on our ER6. We left Edinburgh, got the ferry from Newcastle to IJmuiden, rode to the Eifel region in Germany, on the Dutch-German border, for a night, the Friday night, with the Dutch Norton Club. On the Saturday we rode back across Belgium to the fantastic BBA meeting in Belgium. After a night with Geert, we then rode down into France, along the north of France, back up into Belgium, back up into Holland, and up to visit our good friend Hessel in Groningen, before returning back to IJmuiden and the ferry back to Edinburgh. This was all done in a week, and I have to say, it was a pretty wet week. Good time was had by all.
Yeah, so we're on the ferry up the pier, £4.20 for a pint of beer. Just absolutely bloody good. Sweet, that's good.
Can you taste that?
Just like it. Life on DFDS.
To break the hardest of all, how could it end this way? Have you nothing left to say? Is this the end?
What's a crack?
What's your crack? With your pink neck scarf?
I didn't care. What's this?
We head to the coast.
Look at the weather.
In the rain.
In the rain, but hey,
Avec waterproof.
avec waterproof, yeah.
Because then what is what was small.
What two?
It's very nice. I'll show you on the map.
Okay. We have another nice evening with Geert, our host, again. We always make a movie here.
What are you doing?
Video. Yeah, so this is us at San Valery sur Somme. Left at 1 o'clock today. Had it was raining. We both flew the cold. Enjoyed bits of the run. Some of the bits of the run were shite. We were on like really small roads to start with, and that just become a pain in the backside. With the typical roads just closed, and then you hadn't got a clue where you're going. So we ended up on slightly bigger roads, but still small roads, if you know what I mean, and that was actually quite good. A lot of trucks, which posed a problem sometimes, but once you got by them, we had a few good spells where we had actually quite good roads and quiet for several miles, so it was excellent. Only done about 135 miles a day, but it was good. We were staying in this place. It's meant to be a tourist place, but to be honest with you, it's quite shite. You see the video that I've just put up, it is quite kind of...
It's not quite like boat at Loch Carron, is it?
No. We're staying in a hotel at night because basically because we're fully cold, we couldn't be arse camping. But the hotel's quite expensive and it's quite shiny. Nice, it's clean, but I expect a bit more than clean for the money that we're paying. We're away to look for something to eat, which might be a problem because the place looks closed. So yeah, so we've just been for a meal in this place, La Terrace Bar Brasserie, and it was shite. Yeah, so the menu was limited. It was mainly seafood because we're in a sea kind of place. I didn't eat seafood, of course. Some people would love it here, but me, I think it's shite. Look, it's still wet, it's still grey. I could be in Applecross, where it could be grey, but it's beautiful. I'd get seafood, but because I don't like seafood, I can have something else that's fucking cooked. So what I had tonight was steak tartare, which I was a bit confused. I should have known what it was. It's basically mince, no cooked, with an egg, no cooked.
It's Morrison's minced beef out of a
So-
packet with a raw egg.
A question for our viewers is, the French pride themselves on their cuisine and their cooking. How can you pride yourself on taking some mince out of a packet and slapping it on a plate and putting a raw egg on top of it and saying that's a fucking meal? You can't. It's pish. Anyway, I ate some chips. Some of the mince, so I'll probably be not very well later. That might follow. We're heading back to the hotel now, which will no doubt be shut, but we'll see. What's happening? Speak.
We're just leaving Saint-Valery-sur-Somme
Yep.
and we're heading to first Arras for our lunch, maybe,
Hopefully, yeah.
and then to Valenciennes.
Well, first to the
Carrefour
Carrefour for the benzene and
sandwich.
maybe, yeah. You're no thinks, resell sticks. Stove on, stopped at the supermarket. What are you saying, Fee?
What?
What are you saying?
Feel better now. We should have just really camped last night.
We should have,
Instead they'd be able to get a cup of tea.
I know. Anyway, we're sorted now.
Gino's just made a cup of tea and in the petrol station.
Right, I'm having a sandwich, tea.
And rolled about the car park.
Yeah, rolled about the car park for a bit, just to.
We're just waiting for the bus to come along. The windy licking bus. To take you away.
Aye, because it feels like we've been licking a few windies. Desperate for that cup of tea this morning, eh? What about you?
Yeah, I feel better now.
No safari day, eh? Just a wee jaunt. Not sure what the weather's going to do. It does what it does, eh? It's quite warm though.
I'll keep my waterproofs on just to make sure that you don't get wet.
Yeah. Let's see.
Do you feel like you're on your holiday?
I do now, aye. Yeah. We had a couple of days where it was the usual stress, eh? Takes you a wee while to get into the routine.
We've done we've done it backwards this time though. Normally we end up at a rally.
Aye.
This time we started off at the rally.
So we did disorganisation first, really.
So when you have disorganisation, follows disorganisation.
Yeah. Very much. Sophie feet. What's your thoughts?
Alright.
Where are we?
These theatres are a recipe for disaster.
They're a recipe for disaster.
Always be careful.
Where are we?
Saint-Amand de... Oh,
Is it? I'm just about back in Belgium again.
well, did we not go into Belgium?
No.
No.
I've
We've
kind of
always been on the border.
Mm.
Of Wallonia.
nice campsite. Well, it appears to be nice anyway.
It is nice.
And only a wee bit of rain today.
Not much.
Put the waterproofs on and then bloody overheated a bit, eh?
And the sun came out.
When the sun came out.
And we passed lots of British war graves.
Aye. It's quite sad really, every 2 or 3
Or
miles.
even just round the corner. Does that mean they were killed here?
Every 2 or 3 miles there's another bloody cemetery. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
It shows the amount of people that were killed in this area. Unbelievable.
Who pays for the upkeep of those cemeteries?
There's a Commonwealth War Graves Association. It's just funded by the government. The British folk are here working on them.
Do they? You know what, was one quite a wee interesting bunker.
What was it?
That's what it was.
A bunker.
Uh-huh.
Did it have any story with it?
Well, I would have looked.
If we didn't have to get a mover. If I hadn't been so impatient. What I'm about to do is really not for small children or people of a nervous disposition. We went to the cafe, but they didn't serve food tonight. So we've bought some barbecue stuff, and I'm just going to light the whole lot. Helped along with some petrol at the stove.
Do you have a lighter?
Yep. Not too much, just a tad of petrol.
No socks tonight.
This is
Imagine if you never had the stove.
need the stove. I wouldn't get anywhere without the stove. Okay.
As if we hadn't had enough of campfire.
I know.
Oh, that was the air in the bag.
Yep.
The oxygen.
I'm just hoping that the coals get a wee bit of heat in them with the bag burning. Eh?
Pay attention
We
to
have
what?
some jumbo.
Oh.
We have some frozen steak hash. The boer, the pan. Nobody in the place understood me. Normally my French is alright, but for some reason they didn't want to understand a word I was saying. This is going to be a failure.
No, it's still lighting.
You think?
Yeah. Maybe you need to actually put some petrol in the coals.
Yeah. Be careful with that sort. I never saw any lighter fluid, did you?
No, never. Oh. Oh. No, there's no. It's not because it's wet.
No, it's only wet underneath it.
Your eye. Oh, I can smell that.
That's alright. It's just the hairs in my hand.
Dig. What are we doing now?
Anything to get this to work.
What have been the lessons for this holiday, do you know?
Bring a frying pan. Bring a frying pan. Come prepared. They'll probably be black. They'll probably be black off the thing, but I'm still gonna eat it.
Never eat steak tartare.
Never eat steak tartare.
And what does a fire need to burn?
Here. Kawasaki here. So it worked in the end, Fiona.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a...
All is well. Still got.
Bloody soaking this morning. If we'd got up a bit earlier, we'd have beaten the rain. But we never, so we didn't.
What?
If we got up earlier, we'd have beaten the rain, but we didn't. So we didn't. It's a bit unfortunate. It's a bit unfortunate. So what's happening?
We have just had a strange coincidence. We met one of the Belgian guys in the TV.
In Liège?
If he had went the night, he wouldn't have bumped into
That's right, so everything's done for a reason.
And we've just been getting rained on. There's not even been 1 minute where it's stopped.
It's actually been a right pain in the arse. It's been very, very difficult.
Rain is not my friend.
No. Not only have we been rained on constantly, it's been torrential. The driving has been absolutely hellish. Crazy. Near-death experiences, pouring rain, can't see, wet, cold. Quite shite. And it looks like it might stay that way for the rest of the holiday. It's just a bit poor. So we just need to buck up. But we'll all get a nice hotel tonight. Sunday expense. And see how it goes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
me.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, it is indeed my birthday today. I'm just getting organised in the room. Not a bad night last night, quite enjoyed it. It was quite chilled. Trish tried to get the stuff dried, and that has proved to be almost impossible. Everything's still damp, really. But hey, that's life. So, today we've got 160 miles up to Hessel's place. Not raining at the moment, but guaranteed we're going to get some. See how it goes. As long as the bikes keep going alright, and everything's fine. We're not in a rush because we didn't need to get there till about 5 o'clock, ideally. It's 11 o'clock now. Is it 11 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. So we get on the road in half an hour, at 10:30, ride for an hour, stop, get breakfast, some petrol, and carry on. Well, sun's out. The sun has just broken through.
Let's see what it all.
What's happening?
Oh, yeah. Good afternoon.
How are you?
Okay.
Okay. How's Sylvia?
Good morning.
Are you well?
Well,
So?
so. I don't have a license for these ladders.
No.
I don't have a license for these ladders. No. Where have you just come from?
Back of the van.
We kidnapped you. Yeah.
It's like being in a oven.
Yeah, in an oven, yeah.
Probably my hangover hasn't helped.
It'll be stinking of whiskey in there now.
Yeah, it's fine.
How are you, Sylvia?
Oh, not so good.
Always not so good.
Not always.
Just with makeup.
Yeah. That's right.
It's a nice building, yeah.
Niet. Hij had de verzekering gebeld.
Ja.
It's a crack.
We made very good timer. Yeah. 3-7.
Good timing. A couple of hours for Hessels to here. Just around the whole way. Almost all the way anyway. It's been fine though. No stress. Found us here, no bother. My exhaust is broken again. It's in my shit welding. Only got the boat to go and a wee bit up the road. Fine. Always a bit more chilled when you actually get here. I wouldn't like to be late getting here on a day like this. What's the crack?
We are having a cup of cappuccino.
We've not been alcoholics.
No, it's been quite good. I had a party on Gino's birthday.
Aye, I was kind of sweating whiskey after that yesterday.
It was not a good day to weld your exhaust.
It was a good day to do anything. There was a lot of swearing going on, a lot of sweating.
I didn't see that.
Right, as well.
We got
it's on their hen park. And the young men. It's quite funny. It's actually quite.
Watching the young men watching the young ladies and the young ladies watching the young men.
It's funny.
It's a meat market.
It is a meat market, yeah. It's plenty of meat on the show, and I don't know if it's for sale.
Do you know what this is genuinely true. Do you know what a butcher's called in German? Slagerie.
Slagerie, yeah, that's right. So we're being boring.
Do you know what it's saying in Viz magazine?
We just come out for a bit of fresh air.
And it's warm.
And I'm fair up paying a fiver for a dram, and I've got a bottle in the room. What's happening, Fiona?
We are almost into Newcastle. And we are just going to go for a cup of tea. And the weather is nice.
At the moment, it's nice. With Fiona coming back from an obligatory stop, use the services. Just fueled up at Berwick, heading to the tea shop.
We obviously have a weak bladder this morning.
Aye, how, you alright?
Yeah, fine.
Good. How's that?
Alright, it's good.
I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah, so see if my mother is in.
Why you got my helmet?